that is some clickbait right there. I'm not pregnant. Hey everybody, thank you so much for clicking on this video. So in case you missed it, I have been studying for my pre and postnatal training specialist certification for the past few months, and I finally took my test and I passed. So I got my certification through PROnatal Fitness, and I honestly cannot recommend this certification enough. I have always thought about training during pregnancy more through the lens of needing to modify different exercises rather than viewing this as training for literally one of the most difficult things you're ever gonna do in your life. Push a human out of your hoo-ha or have it cut out of you. So when you think about it like that, I think that it changes your perspective, specifically on how you should be training leading up to this. So in today's video, I'm gonna give you the top 3 things that I recommend everyone do during pregnancy. Now, please remember that I am newly certified, so this is definitely all like fresh information for me, which also makes it much more exciting. And also remember that I have never been pregnant, so I'm not talking about this from firsthand experience on myself, but I do need to give the biggest of shout outs to my client Mariana, who has been with me for years, and as of today is 7 months pregnant, and she has been training with me all through her pregnancy as I've been going through my course. So I really cannot express to you how incredible it has been for someone to trust me along the way as I'm learning and really getting to apply all of the things that I'm learning on another person. I don't even think she watches my videos, but thank you, Mariana. You are a godsend. I love you so much. All right, so let's jump on in. I feel like there's a common misconception that you shouldn't train your core during pregnancy. Well, thankfully, that is not true. You may need to change the way that you train your core, but you should not eliminate it. And I don't want you to think of that change as a modification. I just want you to think of it as a change in purpose. Think of it functionally, right? Why are we training our core during pregnancy? Easier labor, easier recovery, less ab separation, less back pain. Honestly, the list goes on and on. Now, during pregnancy, the main muscles that we're gonna be concerned about are the TVA, the pelvic floor muscles, and the diaphragm. And an exercise that you can do every single day while you're pregnant, right after you give birth, is 360-degree breathing. So let's do it together. Okay. Oh, ignore my stuff in the corner. I feel like there's been 8 videos recently where I'm like, don't look in that corner. It's my trash corner. So I want you to find a nice comfortable seat, make sure that you can find your sits bones, and then we're gonna take our hands right around our lower ribs. From here, as you inhale, I want you to imagine that you're expanding your rib cage 360 degrees, meaning around your entire torso. So as you inhale, you'll feel your ribs expand. On your exhale, I want you to imagine like you have a corset on and you're getting rid of all of that air, pushing everything out. And as you're pushing all of the air out, really imagine like that TVA muscle, which is your corset muscle, is shrinking in. So we'll try that one more time. Do it with me. Big inhale. And exhale. Now, this might seem really basic, but I do actually find that a lot of people have inverse breathing, meaning that on their inhale, they suck in and raise their shoulders. And on their exhale, they push everything out. We wanna work on flipping that. And this is gonna be so important as just a really basic understanding of how our core works for pregnancy, because as we progress through our programming, we're prepping for birth, we're prepping for labor, which is breathing. So again, that's like the very basic introduction to our core work within pregnancy, but it's very helpful. As the baby grows, our center of gravity is going to shift out and up. And with these changes happening at the front of the body, what are you gonna do to counteract that? You're gonna lean into your low back. But as you can imagine, that ends up putting a lot of pressure back here. So to help reduce that as much as possible, we wanna introduce neutral alignment into everything that we're doing. And that's gonna be really difficult to find because our body is different than it was before. So obviously we wanna master these things in our training, but hopefully we can take these exercises that we're mastering in our training and apply them into our daily life. It's just functional training. Okay, so let's do a few examples. One exercise I'm gonna recommend to help implement this is an offset deadlift and row. If we think about this, this is anything we do in daily life where we're bending over, picking something up with one hand, and then standing up. If we think about this specifically for the baby, that's gonna be picking up a toy off of the ground, picking up a diaper that fell, picking up the baby in its carrier before you put it in the car. Also, sorry, I keep calling babies it rather than like giving them pronouns. My friend called me out on that once and I still haven't broken that habit. I'm not trying to be rude. I love kids, I just don't have any. So as we're going through this deadlift, we wanna think about pinching the mid-back muscles together, send the booty back. You give me a row, and then we stand it up. Super simple. Next exercise I'm gonna recommend is a baby lift. It's really an overhead press, but more like Simba. So picking up a lighter weight, I would think about the size of a newborn, so 6 to 10 pounds. You're gonna press that weight up on the diagonal overhead, keeping neutral alignment. So what you wanna stay away from is leaning into your low back. And finally, one more exercise is the ground get up. This is different than a Turkish get up, and it is more about how do I get up off the ground in neutral alignment without using my hands. So it's gonna be a lot of unilateral strength and core strength. So basically you start seated, you tuck one leg in at a time, you tuck it under, you drive into your heel using your glute, and you extend the hip standing up. This one is definitely tricky, and it's a little bit harder for people to grasp sometimes. Also keep in mind, if you're having a lot of sciatic pain, you probably want to eliminate this one from your training, simply because any type of unilateral work is going to exacerbate that sciatica. Now, I won't go into too much depth here because the PROnatal interval training is trademarked, and I'm not really sure how much I can say without infringing on their intellectual property. So we'll keep it very vague. But if we think about labor, it is interval training. You have periods of work or contractions, and then you have periods of rest. So I would absolutely recommend implementing some type of interval training into your second and third trimester. Now, before you turn me off and put on a HIIT workout, that's not what I recommend. Remember that even though we're not viewing pregnancy as strength training that's modified, we still definitely do have modifications that we need to take during pregnancy. And again, instead of thinking of this as I can't do those things, just think of it more like it's not what you need right now. Remember your why. So to format your interval training, I would simply take a low impact exercise, maybe like a box squat to an overhead press with a light weight. Do that for 45 to 60 seconds, and then take a period of rest where you're just focused on your breathing. Okay, I hope that video was helpful. I hope it was informative. And if you're a coach and you're looking to also get this certification, I'm gonna leave a link to it, linked down below. They also have dozens of other courses, whether you are a fitness professional or if you are a pregnant person and you wanna learn a little bit more about how to safely train and prep for your pregnancy. But honestly, I cannot recommend their guides and courses enough. It has been such an eye-opening and educational and fulfilling experience. So I would definitely go check them out. Any questions, please leave them down below. I would love to create some more informational videos for you guys. I do have an entire pregnancy program coming within my Fit Club membership, so keep your eyes peeled for that around February and March. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and I will see you all in the next one.